Alright, so since about 2010, 2011, I've been a hammock camper. Every trip, every style, different hammocks, tried a lot of different brands, but I've always been a tree dweller. But the last couple trips I've changed up my style, and that's what I've got here. It's the Bora Bug Bivy. Decided to go to the ground. I didn't want to spend $600 on a crazy tent. Also didn't want to carry about 7 pounds on my back. Just wanted something simple, something easy, something no fuss. That was one of the things I was kind of getting over with the hammock. It's kind of fun when there's all these little toys and gadgets and things to play with. But when I was out on the chateau, I certainly, at the end of a long, 25 to 30 mile day, I decided I didn't want to mess with all that fuss. I just wanted to throw something down and go to sleep. But I still wanted a little bit of protection. I could have just went cowboy camp, but I don't like ticks crawling on me. I don't like ants crawling on me if I can prevent it. They like to bite on me for some reason. I certainly don't want spiders crawling on me. So, bivy it was. Didn't want to go the full bivy route. I was worried about condensation. I know, it varies from person to person what they ask. So, I've already had tarps. There was no worry there. So all I just needed was a little bit extra protection. And I looked around and the Bora Bug Bivy seemed to do the job. I mean, look at that. It doesn't get much easier than that. Of course you can stake it out if you want, but most of the time I just throw it down and I'm ready to crawl in and go to sleep. It doesn't get any easier. Let's just jump straight into how I would sleep in here. So I went ahead and added a little bit of the Zinget to the zippers. They don't come with any line on it. These are super tiny little zippers, which is great for weight, really bad for being able to pull. So if you get the normal Bug Bivy, you get about a zip like this. It's totally doable, but if you're like me, maybe you need to get up to, heed the call of nature once, twice a night, something like that, or you just don't want to fiddle with getting in and out all the time. Go ahead and get the one that goes down the side, because instead of that little tiny opening, you get this. Much, much easier to get in and out. And then when you're trying to get all your gear in there as well, as far as your sleeping gear, it's a lot easier. So for me, my sleeping gear consists of the infamous Gossamer Gear 1/8 inch pad. Comfort level is going to vary depending on what you want. This is part of the reason I went to the ground, is I've been sleeping better with something super firm. I do that at home as well. My back feels better, my hips feel better. That hammock was just too soft. So just wanted something to keep me a little bit warm. This is closed cell foam, so it's going to do the trick. And it just doesn't get any lighter. And obviously the cushioning is minimal, but great for someone like me who wants that. Jupiter was kind of one of the guys that really sold me on that. If he's doing the mileage that he does with just this, then I can too. Also, when you're on a budget, Aegis Max. I've got mine in the long, so it's a little bit heavier. But just like I wanted the wide, I wanted the long because I like to toss, I like to turn when I'm sleeping. So I just need that little bit of extra wiggle room because it takes me a minute to get comfortable. I'm a little restless. And I've actually upgraded, thanks to Stop and Go, the Outdoor Vitals pillow. I actually really like this thing. It's a little heavy. It's coming in around 3 ounces or so. But now that I'm on the ground, I need a little bit of something for my neck and my head. And this guy's really nice. I like this particular style of inflate the quick valve or whatever they call it. That's a win. So I've got all that in, I'm ready to go. It's just as simple as hop in, hop off whatever shoes I might be wearing. Today it's the Crocs. Just gonna snuggle my way into the bivy. Find my spot here, and then I normally zip it up to where it's on my side over here. That's just a little bit easier for me to find it. And then I'll come up from this side. And there we go. Now we've got pools up here and pulls down there to move the net away from you. I thought that would be a thing I would want to do every time. I've got to where I do it none of the times. Surprisingly, this doesn't bother me. Mosquitoes also don't tend to go after me, so I don't really have to worry about them biting through the mesh. If mosquitoes tend to love you, maybe that's something you would consider pulling that out. But for the time being, I'm pretty happy with it as is. And like I said, you've also got some loops here if you want to stake this down on the head and the foot, if you just are worried that you're going to be sliding and bunching up. Once again, that's a lot more trouble than I'm looking for. I don't mind. I don't seem to have that much of a problem with any of it. I'll just adjust as I need. So I get a little bit of a nasty close-up here. Just everything's looking snarly. Still got all the sleep stuff in there. You can just see some of the zippers. I mean, these guys are super duper tiny. And then let's look here at some of the seams. I mean, the quality is superb. There's no complaints at all. This is a cottage company, cottage vendor. So each thing's handmade, sometimes even to order. And that's another thing to mention too. If you've got some customization that you would like to do, you know, Borah, I believe it's Chris out there, he's more than happy to accommodate where he can. Some of the pull outs, you can see that. I don't even bother, but I love this. This is a tough piece of gear. It served me well on a couple trips already. I love, especially when I'm doing a longer trip, that I can just simply throw this thing down and I'm done. It's caused me to have to learn a little bit more about site selection. When you're in the hammock, you don't have to worry about water running underneath you or anything like that. But that's okay, that's part of the fun. It's a new skill to learn. And I like that there's just less moving parts. Bora Bug Bivy for the win. All right, and here we can see, at least according to my scale, stuff sack and everything, 6.67 ounces. And this is for the wide. So, final thoughts on the Bora Bug Bivy. For me, it's been a great change. I've slept better every night out there. When I get to camp, it's not like, oh man, I've got to do all this setup and I've got to fiddle with it. Which when, you know, you're doing under 10 miles, that's cool. I don't mind spending the time, but when I'm pushing days that are, you know, 25 plus, that's just the last thing I want to do when I get to camp. I just don't want to do any extra chores. So just be able to throw this down, be protected from the creepy crawlies. It can just crawl in. That's a huge win. Craftsmanship, I mean, it's top notch. You do need to understand that this is a bug bivy only, which means you're not going to get any kind of water protection. You do have this sill bottom, so you're good there. I still would suggest just to make sure you protect all your gear, to use some kind of ground sheet, but you are going to need some sort of tarp or tent tarp. Get up. I already, you know, had the hammock tarp, so I'm using the UGQ Winter Dream, but may switch that up soon. Now, this is from a cottage company. The lead times right now, as far as I understand, it's a one-man operation, so lead times can be pretty lengthy. I think it took me around a month to get mine, but I think it was like 75 bucks. 75 bucks for something that's this light, this quality, and you know, you get to support a fellow backpacker who's really passionate about this project. It's worth it that wait time's worth it in my opinion. So you're looking to simplify your setup, you're looking to go to the ground, or you're already on the ground, you just want less clutter. Bora Bug Bivy, I would definitely give it a go.